From cash in the walls to an accidental deposit of millions of dollars, plus a guy who found a brain on the beach, here are 10 of the most amazing and unexpected finds. Number 10. Cash in the walls. Nobody expects to find cash inside the walls of a house. It's just not something you think about when you go to sleep at night and look over at the walls of your bedroom. However, a contractor in Cleveland recently discovered $182,000 in currency from the Great Depression era trapped inside of a bathroom wall. Unfortunately for this guy, he only actually ended up with a few $1,000s and quite a large headache. It goes like this. Because the contractor found it, he wanted to claim some of the money. But as you can imagine, he found it inside somebody's house, and she didn't really feel like giving away the money that was inside of her wall. Why would she? The contractor wouldn't claim anything else that was in her home. He wouldn't take her TV or her bathroom slippers. Why should he have any claim over money in her wall? The lady who owned the house offered him 10%. To any rational person, that seems completely acceptable considering none of it actually belonged to him. But he was obviously a greedy pig because he wanted 40%. Things got immediately sour. Rather than splitting the money, they argued about it. Then the 21 descendants of the original guy who stashed the money in the wall got wind of it. Attorneys got involved. Everything fell apart, and the money was divided among 23 people. At least the money that was found. There was roughly $74,000 missing, which the owner of the house claimed was stolen. Number 9. Monkey selfies. This story is so ridiculous that if it hadn't been reported by the BBC, nobody would have ever believed it was real. But trust me, this story 100% happened. This isn't about money in the walls or a strange archaeological discovery found in an unexpected place. It's about a Malaysian man who lost his phone. He apparently thought his phone had been stolen while he was sleeping, but he really wasn't sure where exactly his phone went or when it happened. All he knew was that he woke up on a Saturday morning and his phone was gone. It wasn't until the following day that the guy found his phone sitting in the mud beneath a palm tree behind his house. But here's where the unexpected discovery comes in. When the young Malaysian man looked through his cell phone, confused as to how it ended up in the mud outside his house, he found a shocking amount of monkey photographs. There were monkey selfies all over his cell phone. In the photos, you can clearly see a monkey trying to figure out how to use the phone, with hilarious selfies of the monkey's face and the leaves of the palm tree behind him. According to the student, he figures the monkey entered his house through an open window and then stole his phone and tried to take pictures with it. But once he got bored, the monkey just left it in the mud. Number 8. Brain on the beach. There are a lot of things you'd expect to discover on the beach. Maybe a whale stuck in the sand, maybe some dirty old shoes, some empty beer bottles, or some cool pieces of driftwood. But nobody expects to find a brain sitting on the beach. This is exactly what happened in Wisconsin when a man wandering along the beach at Samuel Myers Park discovered what can only be described as a human brain. It all happened while the construction worker was minding his own business collecting sea glass and other random stuff to do artwork at his home. Then he found the brain. Not only did he find a brain, but he found it wrapped in aluminum foil with a pink rubber band around it. According to Fox News, it at first looked like a chicken breast. It wasn't until the man investigated further that he realized he was looking at a brain. Obviously, this guy called the police to come investigate, and even the police agreed with him that he had definitely found something that looked like a brain. However, the local police did tell Fox News that the brain is not believed to be human. But as of the time this story was published, the police department was still waiting for definitive result from the medical examiner's office. The big question here is, if it's not a human brain, what kind of brain is it? And why on earth was it sitting on the beach? And why was it wrapped in tinfoil like somebody's lunch? Number 7. Secret floor safe. It's one thing to find money in the wall. It's something entirely different to find a safe in your floor. It all happened when a couple moved into their home and decided to do some renovations. They went from each room, renovating one at a time. And when it came time to remodel the kitchen, they found something extraordinarily unexpected. They found a heavy-duty safe built into the floor beneath the old kitchen island that they ripped out. The safe was clearly old, and it was clearly built into the floor extremely well. What's really crazy is that when the family first moved in, they allegedly found the code to a safe sitting in a medicine cabinet. And whereas most of us probably would have thrown it out as a random piece of garbage, they held on to it just in case. And lo and behold, they used the safe code to crack open the safe. With the safe open, they couldn't believe what they were staring at. There were piles of money, a bottle of old liquor, an innocent-looking blue book, and a bingo card. In total, the couple ended up with $50,000 in $100 bills. They also ended up with a very old bottle of James E. Pepper Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, which itself was worth a significant amount of money. Number 6. Diamond in the Park. It's hard to hear all these stories of people finding incredible wealth totally by accident, but get ready to hear another one. A man named Kevin, who had been visiting the Arkansas Crater of Diamonds State Park regularly ever since he was a young kid, stumbled upon the find of a lifetime in September 2020. Kevin had been sifting for no more than 10 minutes when he discovered something very shiny that at first looked like a piece of glass. Upon closer inspection, Kevin realized it was a diamond. It took a little more investigating, but Kevin eventually discovered that he had stumbled upon a 9.07 carat diamond worth an absolute fortune. According to the local news reports, the diamond Kevin found was the second biggest diamond ever found at that very park. Unfortunately, it was not revealed how much money Kevin would get for his diamond. However, we do know that at this park, it's pretty normal for people to find 1 or 2 diamonds on a daily basis. Just this year, there have been over 246 diamonds registered at Crater of Diamonds State Park. So if you're looking for a little bit of a payday, head on down to Arkansas. Number 5. Rat in a monster. This next story is going to make you rethink your drinking habits. It's inarguably the most disgusting unexpected discovery ever made in the history of the world. Is it amazing? Well, you be the judge of that. A man in Washington is suing the Hanson Beverage Company. This is the company that makes the famous Monster energy drinks. Why is this guy suing the company? Was he poisoned? Did he drink too much Monster and have a heart attack? The answer is that he apparently found a dead mouse at the bottom of a can of Monster. According to Fox News, he didn't find the dead animal until after he finished drinking every last sip of the drink. The liquid was all gone, but he could clearly tell that the can was not empty. It still felt very heavy. After the guy opened the can, he discovered a full mouse. Dead, of course. But nonetheless, he had just guzzled a full can of Monster with a dead mouse at the bottom. Think about that the next time you open up one of these cans. Think of all that dead rat juice. We have no information yet if he ever got money from the lawsuit, but it's believed that the case is 100% real and that nothing has been staged. Number 4. Python in the engine. Let's keep it going with another unexpected discovery in an unexpected place. This one happened in Florida, and of course it happened in Florida. When a man popped his hood to check out what was going on inside the engine of his Ford Mustang, he found an extremely large snake coiled up in the engine bay. It wasn't an ordinary snake either. It was a python, and it was absolutely enormous. Apparently, the engine light had been on, prompting the owner to pop the hood to see what was going on. He could never have expected that there would be a massive snake curled up on his engine. The issue here was probably that the engine was hot, and the snake was hanging out because it was nice and cozy. It was unclear how long the Burmese python had been living inside the man's engine. It was at least 10 feet long, so it couldn't have been in there for long without suffering some kind of damage. Luckily, the professionals were called in to take the snake away, and now both the Mustang and the serpent are safe and sound. In fact, the snake is likely going to be used as an educational outreach animal, going to schools to help at-risk kids stay away from drugs. So it looks like the snake got a job out of the deal. Number 3. A very old coin. In Bangor, Maine, a man with a metal detector made the unexpected discovery of his lifetime. He may not have found a giant bucket of gold or a safe full of cash, but he did find a pretty cool piece of history. And depending on who you are, that might be even better than finding pure money. But you have to be a pretty special someone to think that. In any case, the guy with the metal detector found a coin that had been hidden for roughly 222 years underneath several inches of soil just outside of a church. This happened while he was searching for treasure with his friend from New Hampshire. According to the Bangor Daily News, the copper penny that he found dated back to 1798. That means the penny would have been made in the very first decade that money was minted by the United States. What's really bizarre is that the coin was found on the grounds of a small church where he'd previously gotten permission to use the metal detector. How it had been sitting for so long outside of the church without being found is anybody's guess. And among his other discoveries are a .75 caliber musket ball originally from Britain. Unfortunately, the coin is probably only worth around $200 because it was found in such poor condition. So he's not about to get rich. But it's still a pretty cool piece of history. And besides, the man did admit that 99% of the things he has found with his metal detector throughout the years have been garbage. Number 2. House in the attic. Imagine finding a house inside of your house. This is exactly what happened to a guy who posted his bizarre adventure on Reddit. It's always a gamble when you purchase an older home, especially if you haven't done a thorough walkthrough. This is especially true if the home is very, very old and has been sitting for decades. So far as the story goes, after this guy moved into a new house, he went up to investigate the attic. As it turned out, somebody had built a miniature house inside the attic. While this may seem interesting, judging by the pictures he posted online, it looks like an absolute nightmare. It definitely seems like someone had constructed a horrifying murder house in the attic of the normal house. Either that, or it could have been that the owners of the house ran a business downstairs and lived in a small dwelling constructed in the attic. Either way, it's both amazing and unsettling at the same time. The house inside the attic was complete with wallpaper, a front door, several interior rooms, and even a bathroom equipped with a sink and a toilet. However, everything was in disastrous shape. It had been cut off from the rest of the house apparently for decades, and so no one knew it existed. The guy who posted the story said that he hopes to turn the bizarre discovery into his personal man cave. Number 1. Bank account jackpot. Today I've saved the most amazing unexpected discovery for last. This discovery didn't take a lot of work. Nobody had to do any digging, and there were no metal detectors involved. It happened when a guy checked his bank account to see if he had received his stimulus check. The firefighter from Indiana was expecting a moderate deposit of only $1,700 from the IRS. But when he took out $200 in cash on a Friday and checked his receipt, he saw that his balance was $8.2 million. Even talking about it makes my brain hurt with the immediate spending that would occur if I were to find $8 million sitting in my bank account. First stop, luxury car depot. It's still unclear who exactly made the error, if it was the ATM, the bank, or the federal government. The firefighter waited throughout the weekend and then phoned his bank on Monday morning to tell them about what was going on, only for them to tell him that they didn't see any massive amount of money in his bank account anymore. It was gone just like that, broke again overnight. However, rather than be disappointed, the firefighter said he's just happy that he ended up with the amount he was entitled to. Although, of course, it would certainly be nice to become a millionaire overnight. Which of these finds do you think is truly the most amazing? What would you do with $8 million randomly deposited in your account? Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to subscribe. See you again soon for another awesome video right here on American Eye.